What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the live broadcast. Don't wait to be great. I am your host, Mr. Derrick Forston, and beautiful.
I am Shay Forston, and we are excited to be here tonight. Listen, this is not going to be a long room. We just want to come before you being consistent with who we are, what we do. Again, we are the founders and trademark holders of the ILF model, Independent Living Facility model, where we teach people how to take others from homeless to hopeful, utilizing the shared living housing model. I do this as a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And sir, how do you do this?
I do this as an LLC, so I am for profit. So Shay is nonprofit, I'm for profit. But no matter what, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is the right place to be.
Right.
But if you are just joining us and you have questions, go ahead and start putting them in the chat now. Shay and I discuss independent living facilities, and that is just simply an environment where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So they're similar to group homes, right? They're similar to what most of y'all have heard of or have seen people get into. But the only difference between the model that we do and your traditional group home, what we do doesn't require a license and you don't have to own the property. That right there should make some of y'all shout right now in your kitchen or your living room,
right,
because most of y'all wanted to start something like this and you were told you needed a license and you had to own the property. So right there, in less than 2 minutes of being in this room, I'm simply going to just say, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, consider the ILF model, because it doesn't require your license.
Right.
And most of y'all can walk off your job before January next year if you get into this now. So basically, all it requires is some form of entity, LLC, for-profit or nonprofit. We connect with social workers and case managers. Even before that, we're also going to get an insurance policy to make sure that you're not sued and you make the Channel 8 news like I did. Yeah. So LLC or some type of entity, insurance, we're going to connect with social workers and case managers. I'm going to trust God and go out and rent a house or lease one. Or if you're real blessed in life, maybe you go buy one. I coach some of y'all and you guys go out and buy houses, but most of us, 95% of you guys that I coach, we go out and rent and we lease a property, and we take people from homeless to hopeful. Guys, that's my shortest intro I've ever done. Now, believe it or not, Shay, I'm pretty much done.
Wow.
I do have some set questions that already came in, but we love to honor the people that are already here.
Correct.
So if you guys got questions about this model, how do you do it? How do you get started? How do you scale and grow it? How do you not end up on the Channel 8 news with a $40,000 lawsuit like I did?
Right.
And I kind of already told you, one of my biggest mistakes, y'all, I didn't get no insurance, dummy me. Was trying to grind it and get it together, but I forgot one of the most important pieces to all of this, which is that general liability policy. Yeah. So for the Richardson family, I'm answering your question already. You said, Derrick, I heard about you got sued and you went through a bunch of crazy stuff on the news before you blew up. You right. My biggest mistake, y'all, was that I was grinding, and as some of y'all say, getting it from the mud. Guys, I wasn't really focused on what was also important, which was protecting my family, the asset and the business that I built by being insured. We live in a world today, ladies and gentlemen, where people love to sue you no matter what, whether it's true or false. So we believe in you guys being protected through a general liability policy. And that question was for the Richardson family. So again, I'm going to give you guys a head start. Somebody said, I did text to get info, something about $997.
Correct. That is our DIY product for $997.
But she said the fees started adding up. So no, they didn't add up, sis. The $997 is one product, and that one for $5,000 is one product. Those don't go together.
Right.
So just to clear that, because that sounds like a question, our one-on-one coaching is $5,000. In fact, it's $4,997. January 1st, it goes back to $7,500. So all year long, we've actually had it on sale. So if you're new to us, you actually don't even know that. You just think that that was the price the whole time. But the one-on-one coaching is $4,997, and we cover the tax. I'm that nice of a guy. Right. The DIY version of that is only $997. And the only difference between the two is that the one-on-one coaching, you actually get me and my team as your coach, whereas the DIY is all of me, but it's recorded. Prime example, we got a gentleman in the chat right now, Jermaine Mills. Yeah. Jermaine, can you shout me out real quick, big bro? Jermaine Mills also came to our South Carolina event back in August. He came to the event, got the DIY. He picked up keys to his first ILF 2 weeks ago.
He's got residence.
And he never talks to me because he purchased the DIY. But that shows how cool and how great that product is, but even more, it shows his willingness to be able to push through without the one-on-one coaching. So I tell people that's how you even decide which coaching you get. Are you a knucklehead like me and you catch on kind of slow to stuff and you need me to hold your hand? I'll admit that's me. When I buy coaching, I don't get the DIY from people. Yeah. I want to be able to call the guy or the lady because I'm a little bit of a knucklehead, y'all. So if you get stuff kind of quick and fast like Jermaine and you catch on, maybe the DIY is good for you. And that's pretty cool that I saw that because that was another question by the Taylor family. Mm-hmm. Derrick, what is the difference between your coaching packages? Very simple. The DIY, you're saying that, Derrick, I can do this on my own, bro, and I don't need you. The one-on-one coach says, Derrick, man, I want to be able to be tired of you for the rest of my life, bro. Derrick, I don't get it right away. I don't want to watch a bunch of videos. I want you to coach me one-on-one, Derrick. I want your phone number. And those are those two. So the lady that put that on in TikTok, let me know if you understood that now. Because it sounds like she said she wanted the $9.97 and then the price grew. No, it didn't. They just probably showed you both options. $9.97 for the DIY. And what's really cool about both packages, my team builds your website and it comes with the CRM system. So your whole phone line, AI agents, the bots, your phone line, your website build out, right? Your email ability to campaign and send emails to thousands of people. So you don't need MailChimp. You don't need DocuSign. You don't need that other mail service, right? All of these things are in one. Yeah, through our system, and if you're on our coaching, it's only $37.
And you don't need that. So, what's that form? What's that app that we had back in the day where you can create forms and surveys and all of that stuff? This is all
job form. You don't need job form. Yeah.
All of that information is embedded into the CRM system, and it also allows you to host multiple websites. So let's say you're hosting an event for something. And you want to put a website out there for this event, you can actually throw up a quick event page on the website, add a new domain to it, and list it, right? Just know that there's several things that you can do with this platform that other people will not give you access to or don't have access to. So, and we give you full access to this platform for $37 a month. And that's the hosting fee. You can check that out. If you go to Wix or any of those other platforms, you're going to do the same thing, pay a hosting fee. But we do provide that for you with the $37 hosting fee, and you get full access to the whole Digital Flow Solutions platform. And that is not something that's usually a $297 a month package that we do provide you with for $37 a month. So Derrick, there's a few questions.
Let's do it.
Dominique Miner says, which house is better to start off with when housing, men or women?
I'll let Shay and I both kind of answer that. So I'll jump in first. I usually tell people the men are usually easier. So whether you're male or female doesn't matter. In my opinion, over the years of doing this, I think the men are easier. Sometimes when women hear me say that, they get a little shaky. But believe it or not, the men are going to respect you more than the women are. My wife is going to speak on that in a minute. Correct. So if you're just asking me as your new big brother, Miss Minor, the men to me are easier to start with. And the men seems like more calls come for the men than it is the women. Right. Because depending on where you're living at, what city, what state, there's oftentimes, I don't care where you live at, more services for women.
Correct.
Right. Yeah. So the men often are going to be the ones that are on the other side of that phone call, Miss Minor, trying to get your housing. So in my opinion, men. Shay?
So I would say, for one, you just want to find out what your community is dictating, right? That's always going to be the first response that I give you. There's ebbs and flows, especially for me, because I house women, and a lot of the HRAs, close by me see that there's in Orlando, Florida, in the Florida area, there are resources, but there aren't enough resources for women, but it fluctuates. Like I can go months without getting a call from women.
Right.
But then I can also have another months that's all we're getting are calls for women. So it fluctuates based on the need and where you're located. Women to me seem to be a lot more resilient, and they know how to navigate homelessness a little bit differently than men. There's always, someone's always willing to let their female cousin stay on the couch than they will their male cousin, right? There's a lot of different things that go into that. So just be mindful that I would tell you, just let the community dictate it. When it comes to the men, I am so respected by your male clients. And it's funny because I actually posted something on the Angela Denise Foundation's page with me and Rock, one of your residents. And he's big. He's like, what? Rock's got to be 6'1", maybe 6'1", 6'2", and he towers me. And he's just a teddy bear to me. And I asked him, I said, Rock, if somebody was to try and harm me in this house,
and you filmed that too.
Yeah, and I filmed it.
It's actually on camera.
Oh no, they won't. He said, I said, you'll protect me. He said, you bet I will. With everything I got, I will protect you. And it's so sweet. And then even today, one of the Derrick has a resident, and it kind of brought us both to tears this morning, that we housed many years ago. And he'll call, we call him a wanderer. He just wanders. Okay. He ends up in any city, any state. And we are guaranteed to get a phone call from him. We call him Shorty.
He said, I put you down as my emergency contact. I'm sorry about that, but I always use your number, Derrick.
Yeah. And today he called, and it was just so sweet. Because
and I ain't seen him and probably physically seen him in over 2 years.
Probably longer than
but calls all the time from wherever he's traveling, in some hospital usually.
And whenever he calls, he's like, how's Shay? And usually I'm not around when he calls, so he doesn't hear my voice. And when he heard my voice today, he was just so... It was sweet, man. It was just the sweetest thing. He was like, oh my gosh. Like, he was so excited to hear my voice. And it just shows the difference between like how you can connect with the population type, whether male or female. So I say, don't box yourself in with the population. See who your community is dictating. And you'll see what's going to be needed in your city. But it's like I said, you really can't dictate. You just have to get out there and start and see who starts calling the phone. And
if you just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, and you're a little lost, because usually we jump into a whole intro. Tonight, we jump right into questions. We're just simply a married couple. Speaking of that, make sure you join our brand new YouTube channel called Married to the Mission. Once again, join us at Married to the Mission on our newest YouTube channel, where you see us behind the scenes, acting up, having fun, and fussing at each other, and all the things that we don't show y'all on the professional side at Forston Consultants. Make sure you guys subscribe to Married to the Mission, Forston's Unfiltered. But with that being said, I want
to say something real quick about that. So just a fun fact: our VAs, our staff, actually followed the channel, and they've been commenting all day, and they're giving us things that they want us to go and try. Like, cause we've got VAs from Nigeria, the Philippines, Pakistan. So they're like, hey, remember when y'all went out and ate Jollibee? Can you put that on the channel? Like, we want you guys to show them, because we immerse ourselves. We try to immerse ourselves in their culture, get to understand their culture. And if they'll tell us to go try something, and we'll go try it. So they're actually giving us insight. Like, they're like, remember when you guys showed us this? Because we share a lot with our VAs as well. And they're excited about this channel because they know how we are in private, even with them, because like our relationship with our VAs is very family oriented. So for them to see that us giving you all that access, they're super excited about it. So yeah, I just wanted to add that with the new channel. So join us on the new channel. We'll love to have y'all.
Good stuff. So the next question says, Dominique says, thank you very much. Hey, would it be lucrative to get some type of schooling or furthering my education for this field? That's us. So I'm your new professor. So there is no college, there is no schooling, right? So sounds like, Dominique, you're new to us. Sis, are you new to us? Because I'm just simply a social worker that was begging God to change my life through real estate and helping people. And Shay tricked me to go to college. Now, I'm not asking y'all to go to school, but Dominique, Shay tricked me to go to college. And through the grace of God, I finished with a bachelor's degree in what we call human services, very similar to social work. And when I graduated, I landed this job that I was kind of already at, right? But then I went from just being what I would call a floor tech to the social worker. If you're new to us like Dominique, because I'm going to show her something really quickly. And usually we do this every kind of in the beginning, but we wanted to jump straight to the questions. But since this ties right into it, watch this, sis.
come on over to Forston.
Yeah, everybody come over to Forston Consultants on YouTube
so that you can see some of the slides and the images we're showing.
Now,
I'll put it in the chat.
Because Dominique said she's new, I'm gonna bless all of y'all. So if you knew and you didn't say it, just say thank you to Dominique. But Dominique, we just told you what an ILF is, right? It's an environment where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for staff and or medical oversight. So these are not group homes. That's the good news. Because if it was a group home, you need a license, a state walkthrough, you need permission from your city, and a $30,000 sprinkler system. Now, because my wife was so smart and led by God himself, she said, Derrick, we should trademark this, bro. I think this going to get big for us. And here I am, Dominique, as your big brother many years ago as a social worker trying to get this thing together. And God messed around and showed me a lady that was making 41 grand a month, Dominique. But that lady was housing people in rats and in roaches and in filth and in squalor. So what you see in this picture is sad. This same lady was making 41 grand. Dominique, let me know if you can see that picture. And if you new to me, say, Derrick, I'm new to you, bro, and I can see your screen. Because y'all, I'm not very techy, so oftentimes I check with y'all to make sure y'all can see it. 3 of y'all tell me, especially if you new to me, Derrick, I can see that burnt up kitchen. Derrick, I see the beds on the floor. And this is the lady that was making 41 grand a month. Yeah. And Dominique, because I knew you weren't going to believe me, I took pictures of it. Dominique, I knew 9 years ago I was going to run into people just like you years later. And you was going to say, Derrick, this story sounds good, bro, but you ain't got to stretch the story, Derrick, to make me believe it. Dominique, so I took pictures of it.
Yeah.
Dominique, now if you wear glasses, go get them. Because those are cinder blocks that are holding that bed up. Dominique, can you imagine making 41 grand every 30 days of your life? Lord have mercy. But we will not
live like this.
Do it this way, though.
Yeah.
And I used to come home crying to Shay, to my Shay, you should have seen what I saw today. Because when people refused to teach it to me, I took a Saturday and went and looked for myself.
Yeah.
And this is the stuff that I saw. And lucky again, man, I got a great wife. Shay basically told me, Derrick, she's like, Derrick, like, you can't keep complaining about it. We either gonna do something about it or shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Like, you come on every day talking about, man, babe, I could be doing this. And then I'm complaining to her that nobody won't teach me. So this is me, y'all, social worker, trying to figure it out. And these are all the rats and roaches that I saw. And because I knew Dominique wasn't going to believe me one day, I said, I'm going to take pictures of it. Because that's how people are going to believe me when I tell the story of this. And then right here, and I'm done, I saw a lady one Saturday morning because I snuck to all of these lady places, y'all. Remember, I was the social worker. Yeah. And I snuck. And at all of her places, in one of these places, I saw a lady sleeping on the kitchen floor. And I asked her, how much you pay to live here? Dominique, that woman told me she paid $750 to live in that place. But what you don't know, Dominique, and the rest of y'all in the Taylor family and the Walker family that just joined us, guess who sent that lady to this housing? Me. Mm-hmm. But before you think I'm some bad, crummy guy, Dominique, I didn't know. I worked at a hospital behind the desk with a computer with a legal pad, had a bunch of names on it. I want today for y'all names to be on that list because my list didn't have very many people. And the one lady that always answered her phone.
Her best ability was her availability.
Come on, Shay, say it one more time for the people in the back.
Her best ability was her availability.
Dominique, do you know what that means when Shay says that? If I got a legal pad with 13 people's name on it and y'all don't answer the phone, I didn't know the houses had rats and roaches, but the one lady's like, Derrick, I'm available. I was like, wow, man, this lady's really cool. She was almost my hero, y'all, until I went and saw the way she was housing people. And when I saw the rats and the roaches, and I'm just call her Ashley. I said, Ashley, you live here? Ashley looked at me and said, Derrick, like, in other words, you serious, bro? Like, you sent me here 2 weeks ago. I was like, oh my God. And I always tell this story and I'm done. The part that made me really upset is that Ashley really wasn't mad about sleeping in the roaches and in the rats. She says, Derrick, I'm just glad not to be homeless outside. Lord have mercy. So that's why I tell people, man, this is a ministry. I'm no pastor. I'm no preacher. I'm no bishop.
But it even goes back to what we just talked about, like how Shorty calls. It doesn't matter.
He remembers of how we treated him.
The crazy thing about it is he memorizes Derrick's personal cell phone number. And it has been years since you called him.
Years.
And he calls to let us know he's safe. I'm in recovery, Derrick. And the first thing we say is, well, what do you need? What do you need anything from us? We don't house them no more. None of that. And this is the people that come in to your housing program. And to treat somebody and house somebody in the manner in which this young lady housed these individuals. And you're making 41 grand a month. Like, what are we doing? Man, it's hurting, especially when you get the phone calls, the phone calls of appreciation of people that you've housed in the past, when that you've seen grow and change their lives and really get back involved and connected to family and all of these things. Like, that is the thing that always sticks with me. And today, and I'm going to keep going back to today's call, like this morning, that was tender to me. Yeah. That was a tender moment. And him just calling, like Shay said, is just showing his appreciation. He don't want nothing from me. He ain't coming back to Orlando. He just calls me randomly to every hospital he go to. He's a wanderer, y'all. Yeah. He go to city to city, state to state, always homeless, but he remembers us for how we treated him. Mm-hmm. I say, Shorty, can I do anything for you? I say, well, call me when you get out. Will you come back to Orlando to let me house you? He said, we'll see. He said, we'll see, Derrick. I'll let you know. But he always remembers my. I say, Shorty, how do you remember my number? He says, Derrick, like, in other words, really, bro? I got it memorized in my head. That's what. How can I forget you guys? And that just made me and her melt. And I was like, what? And we had we were in worship, we were in prayer this morning, and we were talking about some other stuff. And immediately Derrick said, I think this is Shorty. With that new feature on the phone, it says, hey, let me find out who you are. So and Derrick saw the transcription come up and he was like, Shay, I think this is Shorty. And he responded, and because usually he'll call our business line. And he was like, I just wanted to hear your voice. Like, he told Derrick, like, he didn't want to hear our assistant this morning. So he called Derrick's line because he wanted to hear Derrick's voice. He know my number. He don't have to call Second Chance Housing. He goes so far back when I used to give the clients my phone number. Yeah. He still remember it. Yep. And Dominique, do not be sorry. If this room is just for you tonight, we are so okay with that. That's why we do it. This is why we are here. This is why we did. Please don't be sorry for your question. And Dominique, just to make you skip the line, your best route is to make sure you watch our web class. If you text the phrase more info, just those 2 words to that phone number on screen, that'll give you our whole web class that break all of what we're talking about today down, like, simply. Yeah. You gonna notice tonight, I'm just gonna treat y'all like family, and I'm just going. Mm-hmm. Right. And to answer your other question, sis, we're live 7 days a week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And to easily remember it is every night at 7 p.m. Eastern. The only day that changes is Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Yep. And if you happen to miss one, they're all recorded. So if you go to our YouTube channel, Forston Consultants, and click that tab that says live, I checked today, there's over 1,100 videos of me running my big mouth about what this is, how to get started, and there ain't a question in your mind, Dominique, that's not already in video form. That's how dedicated to this I am. I told God 9 years ago, as I was making 28 grand a year, I said, God, if you change my life, and watch this, who am I to tell God if you change my life? But guys, I'm just honest of what I said, because I'm so transparent. I said, God, you showed me somebody that was making 41 grand a month mistreating your people. Yeah. And God, I'm struggling to feed my family, making 28 grand a year. And I'm helping people. I said, God, if you let me get into this, I'll go all over the world sharing it, and I'll never take any credit. Dominique, watch me do that right now. Dominique, without God, I'm a nobody. But with God, Dominique, by the end of this show tonight, you're going to think I'm a genius. And I'm really not. I just saw somebody living my dream, doing it the wrong way. And we put our own spin on it. And the spin we put on it is the love of God, and just put them in a nice environment. And other than that, now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever ask or think, according to God's power that worketh in us. You guys be great, and we'll see y'all tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, right?